And there we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Post. Again, as you can obviously see, I'm not DJ Redcap. He had some computer issues today, so he was unable to join us. But we do have a lovely panel to discuss the recent USA versus Thailand friendly. So let's check in on our lovely panel, and we will start. Let's go in alphabetical order and start with you, Danielle.
I was like, we're both D's. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was like, wait, D-A-N-I.
Oh God, we're so close.
Curveball.
I had to think. I was doing the alphabet in my head real quick. I was like, no, I'm doing really well. I actually just got back from the game. Took the road trip. It was a 10-hour drive, but cheaper than flying and getting last minute tickets. So had a lot of fun. Pretty emotional. Pretty great night. So glad I went. And yeah, I'm still just trying to catch up on sleep because I have not got a lot.
Yes, I think we can all relate on that. Let's check in with our other panelist, Danica. How you doing today?
I'm good. I have a little bit of the last remnants of a cold, so I apologize if my voice seems a little stuffy at the moment. But yeah, I'm just in Phoenix, just hanging out, doing random stuff. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's good. You're soldiering on like a true champ right there. All right, so let's get into this. As you know, the USA on Thursday played a friendly against Thailand. USA wins 9-0. Heather O'Reilly's final match, getting the captain's armband. So yeah, you've all seen the media reports and such telling you what happened. So start with expectations. Danica, what were your expectations heading into this match?
It was kind of a blowout. Like, I think obviously we're playing Thailand, and then after having the last game go out the way it is, I think the U.S. needed to prove itself. You know, you need to get yourself back on the right track. At the same time, it also is Heyo's last game, so you want to make it a special game. You want to make sure that she goes out on top kind of thing. So yeah, I just expected them to try and make sure she gets the ball a lot, and so that she can, like, do what she eventually did and score. And then it's like one of those tough games where you wouldn't be scoring a lot, but because it's not like the toughest challenger, you're gonna be trying to work on other tactics during it, so like your touches or something like that. But yeah, so I think it was kind of what we expected. What kind of happened.
Danielle, expectations?
My expectations were one thing. The team was just going to get Heyo the ball the whole time. And that's pretty much what they were trying to do is get her the ball, get her a goal, get her some assist. And they executed it really well. And, you know, like you guys were saying, it was a blowout, 9-0, which we were rooting for 9-0 because 9. But yeah, didn't really, I believe I could be making this up, that it was the first time we played Thailand, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, we knew what to expect out of them, but we've never played them, so seeing what would happen. But yeah, I expected the blowout, and I expected Heyo goals.
Yeah, I'm going to co-sign on that. I think we all thought, seeing as how Thailand is still a developing country, I think they said on the broadcast they had about 25 players total to choose from, so that was pretty... yes, I forgot you were at the game and didn't see it live. Yes, they mentioned during the broadcast that the Thailand coach said he has about 25 players total to choose from. So when you have a small talent pool like that, it's going to be really hard to match up against the top nation. So it was pretty much what we expected to blow out. Danielle, go back to you. Thoughts on the lineup and the first half?
My thoughts on the lineup, it seemed that it was pretty much, I like that my favorite part is they started Kriegs with it so we could get right side, strong side one last time. And I think that was kind of the idea of putting out players that complement Heyo really well. You know, a game like this, a retirement game, you know, it's the first game after the Olympics. It's not going to be about tactics. It's not going to be about, you know, what's the most dominant lineup. It's had its one purpose, and that was to complement the captain. For the first half, it was really strong, as we all know. I don't know. We knew there were going to be early goals. I don't think anyone expected a first-minute goal. So, you know, I was screaming that we were on track for 90. We didn't get it, but, you know, that's fine. You know, having that first goal be across from Hale, absolutely perfect start. You know, Press's goal in the fourth, and then in the 5th minute when Hale got that goal, it was pretty special. I don't know the angle on the camera, on the cast, but it was kind of right in front of me where the celebrations, and you could just see the happiness on her teammate's face. You could see the happiness on her. So definitely the highlight. And then we got the 4th goal in the 36th. So it was a strong half, a lot of fun, really dominant. And I don't think you could ask for really a better half out of the team, to be honest.
Yeah, first half was kind of as we expected. I mean, they honestly, this is the whole game, but they really didn't look like they got out of second gear very often. You know, maybe 1 or 2 times they would hit that second gear when they were really pushing for goals, but they were just basically on cruise control. Like they knew they were so much better. They knew they didn't have to really push. So, and yeah, you know, seeing Hayo get a goal and assist in her last match was just absolutely perfect. Not something that usually happens. I think I read a stat where she is like the highest goal scorer who scored a goal in her last game. I don't remember who the next one was, but she had like 15, and Hayo ends up with 47. So that tells you how rare it is for somebody that's been a prolific goal scorer to get a goal in their last match, because by the time it is their last match, they're not what they once were, or they don't know when it's going to be their last match. So it's a really special moment for Hayo. The only thing I didn't really like about the first half was, I'm going to get a lot of trouble for saying this, but does Ali Long as a defensive midfielder know how to do anything but pass back? It's like every time she gets the ball, it's always going backwards. Like that might be fine against a higher ranked team, but when you're playing Thailand, and especially as a defensive midfielder, the way Jill Ellis wants you to do, seems to want them to do it, just passing back is playing way too safe. You know, best defensive midfielders that I could probably list about a dozen, but I'm not going to. They do pass back, but they'll look to jumpstart the attack. And I just don't think Long is capable of doing that at an international level. Now with Portland, that's a completely different story. I just watch her and I think, oh yeah, she's been great for Portland, just not cutting it on an international level. So that was pretty much my biggest complaint with that half, and that's kind of nitpicking a little. I
got a D-mid thing for the second too, like a comment about D-mid. So,
all right, we'll go back to you after. We'll go back to you after we hear from Danica. Your thoughts on the second half?
The second half, yeah. Well, I think it was kind of like pretty much the same thing as the first, where it's like, so maybe you're still trying to get hit on the ball, but other people are getting in there, so you're more kind of starting to let just everyone shoot and score kind of thing. Of course, so I was watching it at a bar, and I go to the bathroom, like, cause I'm like, okay, I think we're okay. This is like a good time, right when like Dunn comes in and scores. So I'm like, okay, great, like thanks, missed that, and so that sucks. I had to like watch that afterward. But yeah, I think it was kind of just the same thing. It's just like you guys were kind of mentioning, you're really cruise control. That last goal that Morgan scored, I really liked that one. I thought it was a really neat one. I thought it was interesting. I like that Sonnet got some playing time because I think she still has room to grow, obviously, in that spot. And so putting her in a game that's like not very high pressure, but still like you gotta obviously can't just like lollygag. That was nice. Harris actually got a little bit like that one like time that she got to touch the ball, and like with O'Hara, that was like, what is happening? But that was a great save by O'Hara. O'Hara saved that one, right?
Well, it was officially credited as a save, but the replay shows the ball had completely crossed the line, and the referee got that one totally wrong. So It counts as a save, but it wasn't really. So,
So, but it's interesting. I was actually surprised that Harris was playing instead of Nair, but then I kind of thought about it and wasn't really that surprised by it. But it'll be interesting to see kind of down the line who gets more starts. I'm expecting Nair to get the more starts, but it'll be interesting to see.
Okay. And you had a comment you wanted to get to, Danielle?
So when Sonnet went in, they kind of pushed Becky up, kind of into that D mid, which we didn't know because, again, I was there. So JJ's, I know for the national team, she's been a center back, but her natural position is a defensive mid, if I remember correctly. So why are we keep trying this Becky's awesome. Becky can play forward and would kill it. We all know that. But why do we insist on making players D mids when that we have okay, I can't even with that. I'm done. But one last thing is, so that goal, my seat was on the right in the perfect view. Like if I looked forward, I was at the goalpost and we could see it on the other end. So when they didn't call it a goal, wow, my hand was right up camera, sorry guys. So we were like, what's going on? So it was, I know the replay showed it. I can confirm that was so a goal. I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah, no, that play was just weird because it looks like Harris was kind of caught between deciding whether to come for it or sit back and try to save it. And I think that was that ended up being a mistake because they did get that opportunity. Big opportunity because I can speak. And I will say credit to Kelly O'Hara for selling it like it was a save. I think it probably might have maybe influenced the official to call it not a goal. But yeah, no. Ooh, I'm going to get in trouble again for this. But God, I don't know if during the World Cup she was just getting some her mistakes were being covered by the other back line or what, but ever since then, Megan Klingenberg has just been awful. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if she was just being covered by the other defenders and that header save against Sweden was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, or maybe she's buying into all the hype that she's been getting since then, but it looks like she's just been coasting. She hasn't shown me anything that would say, oh, she deserves to start. She makes mistakes. She gets beaten easily by players who, she should be able to stop 9 times out of 10. She just looks lazy out there. And I don't know if it's because she's buying into the hype or if it's because she knows that Jill Ellis will keep on playing her because Jill Ellis favors her, so she doesn't have to work so hard. Because, I don't know. I mean, she was just bad. Our defense in the second half was just lackluster. And that's when Thailand got most of their few opportunities was in that second half when we switched things up and took certain defenders out for others. I mean, I don't particularly back one defender over the other. I want the best possible freaking unit. And at this point, I'm not sure if that includes Klingenberg. Just the way she's been playing has not been the quality what we would expect for the number one team in the world. Now, you can argue if we truly are the number one team, but the rankings and everything say we are. So, I'm not going to get into that argument. But yeah, second half was more the same. Surprise, surprise, another hat trick from Carly. That's 7 now in her career. Yeah. So she just seems to get them. And yeah, no, I mean, I tweeted something out. It's like, if you had told me at the start of 2014, before she'd even hit 50 goals, if by 2.5 years later she'd be within reach of 100, I would have laughed my ass off. I would have been like, you are crazy, get the hell out of here. But I mean, we see where it is. It's like ever since she hit that 30-year-old mark, she's just gone from first gear to the limit does not exist gear. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. She was great, and yeah, no, I think they moved Becky up to defensive midfielder to get her a better shot of getting that first elusive goal, which I want so badly, and I know Danielle would have absolutely died if that
Here's
had
the
happened
here's
when
the
she wasn't
thing.
there.
It would not have happened because it's well established by everybody, including Becky, that she cannot score a goal. Of her NWSL goals have been when I wasn't watching. She has told me time and again, quit watching so she can score goals. It wasn't going to happen last night. And, you know, I don't feel bad because she's a defender, so I'm not going to feel guilt about this. But, yeah, it wasn't going to happen. I was there, so.
But maybe it could have been the thing that broke the streak.
That's what I said. I said, Becky and I need to figure this curse thing out because it's ridiculous and I'm not willing to miss this goal. So.
But yeah, I just want to see her get that one goal to break that damn mark, because the longer that goes on, the more it's going to be like, when is she going to score a goal? When is she going to score a goal? And I want her to get it just to make that go away.
Isn't the assist she got good enough? I mean,
well, we'll talk about that. So, yeah, second half not quite as good as the first, even though it did have the moment of Heather O'Reilly being quote unquote subbed out for nobody, because we can go with the symbolism that nobody can replace her. We can go with the explanation that Ellis just screwed up, but we like the first one better, so we can stick with that. So, let's go back to Danielle. Final thoughts on the game.
it was, you know, an emotional game. It was a great game to watch. I'm not sure if it were. I don't like watching blowout games on TV, but they're kind of fun in person. And so just a lot of emotion. And the most stressful minute, the most overwhelming emotional of my moment of my life was that moment Dunn got subbed on, because we saw it. We're like, all right, five. There was five, so we have one sub left. We saw her go, and we're like, all right, we got to get ready. We're standing. We're like, okay, we can do this. We'll be fine. They pull it up, and there's the 8, and it was overwhelming with emotion. I don't know if that was on purpose or a miscount, like we were saying. But, you know, all I'm saying is it looked like Ellis was pretty frantically talking to Damka as the fourth official. But it led to probably one of the coolest moments when, you know, like you said, the symbolism of no one can replace Heo. So it was a good game. I'm glad I was there. So.
Danica, final thoughts from you.
Yeah, similar thing. It was obviously a great game. Love to see Heo go out in like such a fun fashion. Yeah, it sucks for Thailand, but it was still like it was really nice seeing. I love seeing, like you were mentioning about Lloyd. Just I thought she did really great. What she was involved in 7 out of the 9 goals, which is fantastic. And I feel especially out of like you know, you gotta get yourself back into it after like the Olympics and all that. So I think that was a great way for at least her like psyche to like get into this. Oh, that reminds me, her book's coming out. I'm excited for that. Anyways, totally unrelated. Yeah, no, it's just that it was just like kind of like a fun game where just a lot of goal scoring. It wasn't like it was like the most like crazy game. It wasn't like there was like no. It was what we expected, but it was fun just because it was that retirement game, and so you do want it to be like fun for that sense. But yeah, it was kind of hard watching it on like just like on TV and not being there, because like you do kind of like after the first 3 goals, like, oh, poor Thailand, this is gonna be rough. So, but it was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah, disclaimer, I did not get to watch this game live because of real life issues. So the problem for me is when I know what's going to happen and it's a blowout. There were times where my attention was like, my mind was kind of wandering a little bit because it wasn't really exciting, and I already knew what was going to happen. Still got very emotional when Heo got subbed out. I didn't think I was going to get that emotional, but had the tears streaming down my face. It was just one of those moments where I wish I had been there live. I was so going to go, and then other stuff popped up, and I wasn't able to make it work. So I'll be forever kicking myself for that. So,
And you could have met me. So
yeah, that would have been interesting. And one final note. I know Danielle was not the biggest fan of Tobin Heath. Sorry, Carl, but that on her goal when she had the guts to basically stop right in the penalty box and do the fake and then chip it over, I thought that was great. It was just one of those things, like, she probably wouldn't try it in, like, a more competitive match, but it's just one of those things. It's like, why the hell not? Let it, he'll go for it. So I thought that moment was really cool. So, yeah, again, about what we expected. So, moving on. Tomorrow we have a game against hopefully a much stiffer opponent in the Netherlands. We're able to get them because they're not busy in this window because they don't have any qualifiers scheduled because they're hosting the European Championships next year. So we were able to get them for this window. Let's go to you first, Danica. What are your expectations for the game tomorrow?
I think it'll obviously be a different game. I think the Netherlands will put up a bit more of a fight. I still think we'll win, but I think it will be more of a because obviously this one was all about Heo and trying to get her the ball, but now I think we'll kind of get more to like finding the rhythm again and trying to like get it back together in that sense. Hopefully Long doesn't start, but that's just me. And yeah, but I honestly I think we'll kind of see pretty similar lineups to what we've been seeing so far. I don't think Alice is going to change anything now. Yeah, I guess not too much, but that's yeah.
Well, I think we're all in agreement on Ali Long not starting, but we'll let Danielle. What are your expectations for this game?
I mean, it's the same. I think it's going to be more of a traditional lineup, more of a tactical lineup. I saw that Morgan Bryan's going to be back for that game. I don't know if they're going to risk playing her or not. Just coming back there, but yeah, I think it should be a better game. I think it's definitely going to be more competitive, but we should win. Lineup wise, I think it's going to be similar to the Olympics, to be honest. Kind of because this whole thing's a victory tour without winning. We all know it's a victory tour. So they're going to give the fans what they would have for a victory tour, minus a certain couple positions that aren't there right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting the same thing. It's going to be a more competitive match. The Netherlands aren't exactly pushovers. They've gotten a lot better in the last few years. The one thing I am concerned about with them is they don't necessarily have the fastest back line. So if we go with speed up top, that could probably be one thing that they would look to exploit. Got to be a little bit more careful defensively because they do have some pretty good attacking weapons. They have used to be the 3Ms, but since Mellis retired from the national team, it's the 2Ms. Martins and Midema. I cannot pronounce her name properly for the life of me, but those are the two main weapons for the Netherlands got to worry about. So, yeah, I'm expecting a more competitive game. I'm hoping it's more exciting. Maybe we get to see Alyssa Nair make the start. Maybe not. Who knows? Expect a more of an A-team lineup because I think the one we started with was more of a B team. Hoping Long doesn't start. Hoping Sam Lewis starts again because I'm biased and I always want Sam Lewis to play. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any final comments before we sign off?
My only thing is I like what we did, and no matter what you feel about a certain situation going on right now, I think everyone can agree coverage is what's really making it a problem. So I'm glad we it's not a big deal, nothing we talk about. So difference between us and ESPN, I guess. So
yeah, we'll let the people who trying to get the ratings discuss that because we won't discuss it. We are focusing on happy things here. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back after the Monday, maybe Tuesday. Not sure when. We'll tweet out when we're going to be airing our next show to review the Netherlands game and preview the final weekend of NWSL action. Can't wait for it. One of us still has a team in the playoff hunt, so.
And on that note, I'm shutting off my computer.
So tune in, and we'll catch you around. Everybody wave.